G'day friends, welcome to today's video. We're gonna flip through the sketch planner. I feel like I have about 35 disclaimers I want to say before I start, but in essence, let me just say this is probably the first time I'm ever gonna try and attempt to do this and hopefully succeed, fingers crossed. I want to do a voiceover, just one and done. Like I want to flip through this whole book without having to edit anything. We'll just see how that goes, so it might be chatty, strap yourself in. And then the other thing I want to say is that I am not your regular planner girl. I just have never been much of a planner. Honestly, there was never much of a need for me to plan a lot before, but as I get busier and as I hope to expand and grow and add more to my workload, it's kind of become a necessity for obvious reasons. If you don't plan, you, what's that quote? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's kind of what I think about whenever I try to take a break from my sketch planner. But let's just get right into it. I have done a video on the sketch planner before when we did a giveaway back early 2018. This was from a Kickstarter campaign in 2017 by Tom Bancroft, who is a really popular illustrator, and you'll notice that the sketch planner is kind of designed with illustrators in mind, in that every day there is a prompt on the actual like planner part, and then on every right hand page there is a blank page to draw on. Now I can show you that because there's still some blank at the end. So here, well, these are the Inktober prompts for 2018, and there were mermaid ones in here as well, but every day of the year actually has its own prompt on there. So you can see when you get to, Inktober day 31, it says #slice, which I'm assuming you're supposed to actually hashtag it like that and maybe say #sketchplanner. I'm not quite sure. I did go on the Sketchplanner Instagram. It didn't have much of an update after the campaign was finished and backed. Everyone kind of got their sketch planners and went on their merry way. It's an interesting thing to try and buy because you only really need to buy it, December, January. No one really in February, March is looking to buy a yearly planner at that point. It's kind of like calendars. You don't really buy them after the year's kind of started. So the sketch planner campaign did run for a few months, and I managed to get two, one that I kept and one that I gave away in a little giveaway competition that we held earlier in the year. So that was super fun, and it is coming back for 2019. All of that to say, I did go on the Instagram and I tried to slide in the DMs and get some information for you. Unfortunately, I didn't get a response to the message that I sent, so I'm gonna know as much as you guys know at this point. All I know is that it is coming back for 2019, and it will be available for purchase again at some point. I'm assuming towards the end of the year. I'm not even sure if it's a Kickstarter again or if it's just going to go retail. I really don't know, but it's coming back, and it looks like they've changed the cover, which it looks like a linen, maybe, I'm guessing. I hope it is the same format, because one of the things I was really hesitant about was the fact that it was ring bound. I don't like ring bound journals, and I don't like ring bound books because it just gets really in the way. This is really fine and it's really small, but I think what I didn't like most about ring bound journals is they didn't stack nicely. Like there was always a ring kind of poking out in the my books that were lined up on the shelf. This has actually got a hard cover over the top of it. So this solved all of my problems with ring bound journals and notebooks. So this is why I love it so much, and I really don't want them to change it. It does look like they maybe have put an elastic over it, which I don't really need because I don't take this anywhere. It kind of just stays in the office. But anyway, let's just get right into it. This was the craft cover. I have a video on YouTube showing how I did this cover. This is just some embossing with some Copic markers and some pens. That was super fun. On the back, we have a bunch of stickers from the Travelers Factory store in Tokyo when Steve and I went on a trip to Japan last year. So they're all vinyl stickers, or these are like a really durable paper sticker, and I just thought it'd be nice to put them on there like it was a suitcase, when people do that when they travel. So that's that. First page. So it does lay flat. I think that's one of the things that I also really, really enjoy about it. The whole thing seems really well thought out and really put together. It's weird to say like they really thought about the details when essentially you're getting a blank book with just some days on it. But it does feel good. It's durable. It definitely worked. P.S. This was not sponsored at all. Like I said, I reached out to them and I didn't even get a message back on Instagram. So this is not a sponsored video. But I do really love my sketch planner, and I do want to use it again in 2019. And so I kind of wanted to flip through it and show you what I ended up doing with it. It became kind of like a catch-all for anything and everything that was floating around the studio. So I've got bunches and bunches of stuff. you know, paper, essentially, scraps, illustrations, drawings, paint swatches, you know, whatever it is that's floating around. It's not hoarding if it ends up in a journal. So I consider this part art journal, part scrapbook, part planner, part diary, part grocery list. I mean, anything that I could put in here, I would, and it's actually become one of my favorite journals. It's so bizarre because I don't set out to do anything creative in this, but it kind of, it's a place where I can put things. Like I don't need a reason to put this here. I know I've got a place to put it. Let me put it there, and it decorates my planner. And since I use it every day, I get to flip through all this stuff every day and just be reminded of all the things that are visually appealing to me. Like I just get to have all these fun memories. Having said that, this is not why I put that in there. This is not visually appealing to me. This is actually my headshot, and this is only washi taped in because my headshot and resume, when I go out to auditions, I know that I have one in here that I can just rip out and take with me. It's a process to get those together every time you need to go to an audition, so I just keep it there. That was so random. No, I don't love looking at this. This is just where I keep it for safekeeping. This is a swatch, the Mungyo palette swatches. We did that on YouTube. Coloring cards, the deluxe coloring cards. We went through that and had a bit of a coloring tutorial on YouTube. These were all the stickers that were left over from when I was making the postcard packs. And I used to bundle them together with like a little band and put a sticker over the top of them. I had a bunch left, so I just stuck them in. Why not? I think, honestly, I'll get in here at night and I'll just have all of these sticker products lying around and I'll just go crazy sticking them all in. Or bits and pieces that are just flying everywhere. I think, great, I'm going to put you down there. Test prints, random, like anything and everything. Original pieces that I just have no idea what to do with, like this. This was so random, but the purple background was a part of a swatch that I was doing for a friend who had an idea for something. And then I just put a die cut over the top of it, one of the Swatchy Doll die cuts, and then made this little spread out of it. But it had nowhere to be. It was, this, you know, a nice little bit of ripped paper. And I could have put it in a journal, but I didn't. It ended up here, and I love it in here. This has since become a sticker in the planner confection sticker sheet, and it's really funny to put the stickers from the decorations in my sketch planner back in my sketch planner. I think it's just so ridiculous, but I enjoy it. This is just a page of photo prints. This is, you know, lots of random test prints and everything. This is from the Partners Art Challenge that Steve and I did. Proofs, test print proofs, lots of photos. There's just photos galore in here because I print them all, but I don't necessarily scrapbook, so maybe this is part Project Life sketch planner as well. I've been really getting into watching Project Life videos on YouTube, but I just don't have it in me to start that. I used to have these little tabs up here, but I don't think I've used it too much. This is all washi tape samples too. That these are Ali Brown's washi tapes, the Rainbow Plop and the Sketchy Owls. This is the Imbibe tape and the Joy tape. And when I got my new Pitter Pattern tape, I put that down there. And this is the Mademoiselles. Love my fake French. So you can see, I mean, this is when I started, and I was just kind of filling it with decoration because I didn't want to, you know, go to a blank page. This is Godzilla, little tab. Try and keep that up. No, I won't I'll put that down. That annoys me. I don't want to see it sticking up the whole time, but you know it's there. So you can see I started pretty simple, and honestly, I was just using it as a catch-all for anything that was floating around. I still use it like that, but now I really pack it jam-packed full. This has got negative space, which is rare these days. and really starting off my planner life quite slowly. I'm sorry if you see any of these little post-it kind of things. I even have post-it notes over some things. There is stuff in here that I can't let you see just because it's personal, or because it has to do with money, or because it has to do with projects and ideas that I haven't made public yet. So there's a bunch of these all over everything. So that wasn't a design choice. That was just done out of necessity, I guess. Because people do like to read your stuff on the internet. It's a bizarre concept, but I understand it. You know, I love Big Brother. I can't say that I don't have that tendency, but, you know, I just had to put them down there just to be safe. It's nothing crazy either. It's the Cruella de Vil journal that you want to watch out for. That would just be one big post-it note over every single page. More stuff, just more random stuff. Some sticky pics from, this was from local. There's Sticky Pics booth just down the road from me. mean, not down the road, but just on the highway. Stella and I went there. It was her birthday. These are from Japan with Steve. You can see I'm feeling my way for what I want this to be, even though I didn't have a reason for it to be anything. It was just supposed to be a planner. But I did want to decorate it because it made me feel better to go to it. I just don't... Planning doesn't come naturally to me. It's not one of those things I wake up in the morning and think, yes, let me list out my day. But when I started putting things in here, you know, when I would say, oh, I have a new Swatch doll washi tape coming out, like I have to film the promo for it. When I would film like a promo or do a photo shoot for it, I would stick whatever it was in here. So it kind of became memory keeping at the same time. And then lots of random extra bits and pieces that I would just fill it up with to make me want to come back to it. And even try out little ideas in here, little ideas that maybe didn't work, or you know, mix and matching different die cuts together, and just having a place for all my colored die cuts. I don't think I've actually colored in any of my own die cuts and put them into a journal spread. Possibly. I think they all end up in here. This is because, I mean, I don't need to think about what they do in here. They can just be in here. Maybe this is just my the laziest journal that I have. It is very therapeutic though. It's very relaxing to come in here at night time and just decorate pages for no reason. To de-stash a little bit, you know, it makes you feel better to put a dent in some of those piles that just keep collecting at your desk. I never really got into the monthly tracking until recently, until we've been doing playtest Patreon. So there are these pages. There's dividers. So this is actually a divider here that's thicker than the paper. It's a gloss cardstock. And I did start ripping those out towards the end because... Oh, I didn't do that one. I did start ripping them out towards the end and actually just taking the tabs and putting them on the paper on the monthly calendar, because I noticed that as the month ended, some of the days repeated on the next one, and that this divider was only in here for the tab, and it does start to bulk up when you add a lot of stuff to it. Now it's rings, so you can put a lot in there, but I have really packed it full, and even having, you know, an extra 12 of these cardstock pages in there, it becomes kind of thick. So I did, you know, kind of weed it out a little bit halfway through the year, and found that there was a lot of pages that I could get rid of. Pages that repeated themselves, pages that I necessarily wasn't using, like the monthly spreads. Even when I use the monthly spreads now, I do have my own monthly calendar that I print, so I can just stick that to one of the normal pages and call it a day. I don't really need that monthly layout. Here, just more stuff. These were days that I didn't even plan. Like, this is actually a week. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is the week that repeated days. So you have here at the end, you've got, you know, the first of the month, the second of the month, the third, but then you're coming back here to repeat those days again, because they want you to start the month afresh after the divider. So that's what I mean. It's kind of like a random repeat. So I didn't need that. I just decided to start here. And this is, I think, where I got into theming it all. I tried for a hot minute just theming the pieces that I would put down, just to see if it made a difference. Like, I know I was putting anything and everything on there, but I wanted to see if I could bring it together somehow. I mean, I couldn't really, but it was a nice idea. Some little, I didn't even go through what's on here, some little Copic sketch markers, swatches. These were from the Twin Tags video. I haven't done a Tag Tuesday in a hot minute. Maybe I should try and get on that. This is from the haute coloring video. This is a washi tape that I put little stickers on the top and kind of like altered the washi tape, because this is my sketchbook washi tape. I think I only have this one left. There, you can see them right there. They're quite a substantial size. They almost look like, I mean, tiny prints. That's about the size of this though, right? Like an HP Sprocket print. I think what I'm trying to say is it's a substantial size washi with actual images on there. So it did give me an opportunity to play with, you know, smaller stickers and, you know, even altering washi. I love to reuse, refresh, recycle images, even if it's on a washi tape. Here's little planner stickers. These are so fun because they're in the journal. So this is the actual original, which we did a video on this. There's so much in here that is just from YouTube videos. I think that's the stuff that doesn't end up in my journals when I'm doing demos or I'm just making content or, you know what I mean? Like having fun, creative playtime. If it's not done in the journal, if it's just done on loose paper or, you know, a tag or something, that's the stuff that I put into a little box and I don't revisit for months and months and months. So this has been such a great journal to have, just to de-stash that. And I could do it in a regular journal, honestly, I could, but then I think I'd just be looking at a scrapbook. At least this, to me, has a purpose. I don't want to destash it into a book where it's like, you know, that I have to look for an idea, I have to look for a theme for it, because then I'm just art journaling again. I just want to destash it. I just want to give it a place to be, but I don't want it to be just in a random book. I like the fact that it's in a sketch planner. I like the fact that it's, you know, I'm actually need this book for something. This is decoration all of a sudden. It's not just random bits of hoarded paper, which, you know, I mean, we don't need to go there, but it's just the way that my mind kind of works. It makes more sense for me to do all this destashing with, you know, with reckless abandon in a journal that serves a dual function. Is that too much? Was that too much of an explanation? You don't need to do any of this, obviously. There's no reason you need to decorate your planner, but I think a lot of people do. A lot of people use their, I've seen the Hobonichi community, they do a lot of their own illustrating and a lot of their own painting on the days where they're either documenting their life or they're just kind of planning their weeks. And it's an interesting process to do, because if you're someone like me that hates planning and hasn't been into it, this is the gateway for that. This is how you really encourage yourself to do it. And so I went from this, you know, turquoise, pink, purple, blue fantasy and moved into a black and white spread. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I did it. Didn't need to do it again. It just kind of looked like someone took all the joy out of my page. I love what's on here. I mean, this is from the collage and illustration. No, was it? This isn't from that. This is a collage and copy, when we were just grabbing all the random stuff, because we didn't need copies of that, but grabbing all that random stuff, putting it into the photocopier and just photocopying it to create new things. That was really fun for me, and I really like having that in there. And it kind of just filled the entire page. These pages are about a US letter size. I want to say, I have one here, let me see. Yeah, it's a US letter sized page. So, works great just for photocopying things. Ironically, I don't think I sketched much on these pages. I know it's a sketch planner and it was supposed to do that, but I haven't done any of the prompts. I didn't really use any of this for sketching. It was more just gluing things down and putting things in there, decorating. I took that idea from what I tried with the washi tape on the other page and tried to do it with this ephemera piece, but this just did not go. This is the most disgusting photo I've ever seen of Oliver. I feel terrible for showing you that, but Steve sent me that photo and I thought it was too funny, and it was it kind of matched this day that I had floating around in my thing. He's just such a weirdo, but he's so cute. Look at him. Just random bits and pieces. I mean, she didn't need to be under there, but she is, and it's fun to flip. So lots and lots and lots of stuff in here, and no rhyme or reason for it to be in here. I thought this would be a fun little spread to kind of go a bit more romantic with it, a bit more abstract in my collage a little bit, layers, a lot of that, what's that? I don't know the word. I want to say vintage, but I guess it's vintage. There's also Tim Holtz ephemera little die cuts in here, but essentially playing with the, like clustering these collages together, and that was a really interesting look that I really did enjoy, and I took this idea into what I was working on in my journals. So some of the stuff in here, even though it's unintentional, I do learn from it, and you know, like this little die cut, this was a sample print. This doesn't actually feel like the original, the actual die cuts. This was a sample print, and just having her rest on this washi, but then also putting this fairy wing on her, it was this that inspired me to do that piece in Mermaid, where she's on the seahorse, the ribbon seahorse, and she's got that, I mean, it's exactly this. I literally used the same idea and then had her wings coming off. So some of this is relevant to what I end up doing in non-planner life, but I kind of see them all as the same. I think they all cross over, so it's been a really interesting experience to have this as another outlet to kind of put creativity in there. This was from Lonnie, this was from Whimsy Ween last year, and when Stella and I did that face painting for the Halloween series, Lonnie painted that and so graciously sent it to me, and I just loved it. I wanted to put it in here so that I could always look at it. I mean, look how talented she is. I kind of wish I looked like that. I think she was very gracious with how she put that together. I definitely don't look anything like that right now. My health journey has ceased to exist, but we'll get there. This was a print. This was a print of this. You can see the colors are a little bit different. I did have a problem color correcting this one. This was when I was testing out a print company to see if I could do fine art prints on these beautiful watercolor papers, but it just kind of wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I had these prints, so I thought, you know, put them in here. Here's where we get really busy. This is when we moved, so you could tell I was starting to really stress out and I kind of needed to be in here. I did watercolor a bit over this page. I got really inspired. I'm always inspired by Ali Brown, but when she watercolor plops on the back of her planner and her journal and stuff, I just thought it was really pretty, and it really did make me want to get in here as well, but I haven't done it since, so perhaps I'll watercolor a couple of pages for my next weeks. But this was all supposed to be purple and whimsical and pink and teal and turquoise and blue and whatever, but just kind of random. And then some of these things, you know, became inspiration for other stuff. I know that I've said that before, but you know, she's now a sticker in the planner confections, and I really love this so much that this actually ended up in Mermaid as well. So I guess there was a lot of Mermaid influence that I pulled from this sketch planner without knowing. Well, this was all botanical. I wanted to give it a go. I wanted to have a go at it. I wanted to give it a try. I just like the leaves. I don't really like drawing the flowers, so I just did my leaves everywhere, which was really fun for me. And lots of stuff going on here. You can see sometimes I'll get in here and I'll write, I mean, you don't have to read it, but lots of ideas that I have, especially if I'm just sitting down and they all come hard and fast. I'll just be like, these are videos I want to do. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe this is something I want to make. I don't know what I want to do. And so it's not just planning. There's also, you know, conceptualizing that goes on in here. And there's goals that I kind of make in here. I'm never sitting down saying, you know, I want to become a great person by December, but I do just, you know, I just want to say, like, oh, I want 2 new washi tapes this month, or I want to make fragments packs this month, or something I want to achieve within the next, you know, 3 weeks. What can I do? So I'll put it in here, even if I'm not super sold on the idea, because I think seeing it over and over again it's really good for it to sink into your subconscious and kind of guilt you into doing it. Oh, I lied. This is something I did draw. At least I drew 1 page. I felt kind of guilty that I didn't sketch in my sketch planner, but this was, I did a little bit of watercolor here, and I was doing the transparent photo stickers when I was printing on those, and I put it over the top of it. So this was colored underneath, and then I put it over the top, and then I kind of added some little details on top, and then everything else is just a black pen when I was sitting down and obviously had some spare time on my hands. It's just ironic that it says live your life in color, and this is not colored. So we're just making a lot of sense over here. But this, I guess I was going for a bit more of that black and white. You can just see, this was, you know, you can almost see phases as I go through this. You can see when I'm really taken with something like the transparent photo stickers, because now they're about to pop up everywhere. Did they pop up before? No. It must have been this week that I started with them. So I think it's funny too to go back and, you know, backdate the phases that you went through, and especially to know just how long something needed to sit with you before you know, take it to YouTube, or before I started to share it with people. Like, some ideas happened months before I even said, oh, hey, I've got a video, I want to share this with you. So I think that's an interesting process too. And sometimes it makes me think maybe I should have waited a little bit longer for that. But stickers, I guess I was going sticker crazy once I had those transparent stickers. More just samples of stuff. This is a random mix, but I can tell I just wanted to use a lot of stickers here because I've gone all around the border with just random stickers that don't make sense and don't mean anything. This was a postcard print. I didn't have anywhere for that to be. This is a swatch from the oh no, this was the Designs by Rachel Beth swatch video, and I didn't have anywhere to put that either, and I wasn't going to frame it, and it also doesn't really fit into a journal very well. Like, I couldn't picture an idea with it, but totally works in here. This was recent. This was the hair tutorial from Patreon. Just some samples. So you see, like, I might just put it in there. Like, that doesn't even need to be there, and there's no reason for it to be on that monthly spread, but you know what? It's there, and I'm just going to enjoy it there now. These are all the stuff you're not allowed to see. Sorry. Oh, what a joke. Gym every day. Who thought that was going to happen? Where are we at now? We're in April. Which is interesting. Some of this stuff I should revisit. I should go back and take the ideas from here. You can tell I was back into my HB Sprocket at this point. This is pretty fun. This is a collage that was stickers and washi that I think I drew extra bits onto it to kind of pull it all together. I think I was getting this from not this this look or anything, but the idea of that from Roxanne by Bun. If you're familiar with her work, she does a really great job of pulling elements together by drawing on and weaving in and out of them. So I think that was when I was starting to notice that kind of work that she was doing, and I wanted to see if I could do it myself. And maybe this was the early workings of that, because I do still keep that in my mind now when I'm trying to pull foreground elements into the background, and vice versa when I'm trying to, you know, like the real life version of flatten in Photoshop, when I really want to merge down everything that I see into one spread as opposed to 15 different pasted pieces. Baiban is just so amazing at doing that, and one of the things that I thought I identified with her, it was the way that she illustrated to connect it. So that was something that I was playing with, and I would credit to Roxanne, because it certainly didn't come from me. What else have we got in here? Oh look, I did what I was supposed to do. I think I said this a million times over, and I'm glad I caught it. I literally made this tape called Brushstroke because I thought it would be really fun to tear it off and continue the line with your lettering. But since I'm not a letterer, I never did any samples for it. I never really explained it properly, and I never really ran with it myself, so it didn't make sense to a lot of people. So I take full responsibility for that. That was just me being stupid. But I actually did do it once, and I was so happy that it worked. And I mean, I tried it a couple of times before, but I'm not a good letterer, so I don't really care to show that. But it does. So if you have this brushstroke tape, the pen that I used to draw them with was this pen. So if you have a little brush pen as well, it will just connect wherever you tear it off. And you can try that if you want. If you don't need to, that's fine too. This is from my little tearaway calendar that I have. Steve got me this Disney tearaway calendar, and I love all the images, so I didn't want to waste them. But what do you do with 365 Disney images? So I do still store a lot of them in my little box, but every now and again I will cut them out. And I kind of just drew Polaroid frames around them. I thought I was going to write what I loved about each of these movies inside them. And then I just don't remember the Aristocats very well, so I just left it blank for a minute. I should go back and fill that in. This is my sticker page. Everything on here is a sticker. I had a lot of stickers, and I wanted to use them. We've got transparent stickers here. We've got Ali Brown's washi tape sticker here. Yes, I saved those too. You're not crazy for saving the ones that I see you saving. We all do it. If we love a good sticker, we will tear it off any kind of packaging. So I've got some more Ali Brown stickers here, some more transparent stickers. I think this was when I was testing a lot of the different types of transparent sticker paper, because there was the matte, and then there was the glossy, but then there was laser jet, and then there was inkjet. Laser jet? There was laser, and then there was inkjet, and I wanted to see how they were all working differently. So just a fun page of stickers that I really like. Howard. Ali, I'm gonna need a Count Zinzendorf sticker, please. More stickers. These are little photo stickers I had printed years and years and years ago. So these are actually really fun memories for me to look back on, because this just represents a lifetime ago. This was a completely different life that I'm not going to say I don't live anymore. I mean, I definitely have these nostalgic feelings for it. But yeah, I mean, all of this was back when I was a dancer, so I mean, I guess I was a baby as well, but this is just really fun for me to look at, because it's just like a nostalgic border. So random. Oh, I love this too. This was my tracker calendar for Mermaid. So as I finished the Mermaid pieces, I would print out these little stickers on some just random sticker paper. It wasn't very good quality, but I printed it out anyway, and I would just stick them in here to say, oh, I've done it, and that's what I did today. And I love that I get a visual on that whole month and what that looked like. This spread is super nostalgic to me. Oh look, this must be where my health journey went off. Bad diet day, bad diet day, bad diet day. And then I didn't track my health stuff from there. Oh no, it was Mermaid! Mermaid made me fat. Okay, we got more mermaid stuff. I think you can still see I'm in my sticker craze here. This was also, I think just months prior, or maybe a month prior, I had gotten really into that collage and illustration feeling, and this is when I was starting to fill that out for a project, and you know, kind of just looking at things that were around me and putting them together as I was drawing. So they became collage sheets, which essentially became stickers, and I was even cutting up the different the different collages and making new ones out of them. So that's what I mean about, you know, refresh, reuse, recycle. I like literally taking what I already have and doing something new with it. So this is something I should revisit. Oh, the phototems. This was a YouTube tutorial as well. And the photo sticker paper. I think this is the A1, the Japan the sticker paper. They're essentially label papers, gloss label papers, but they're such a cheaper alternative than actually printing your photos and or using an HB sprocket. They're also great because it's thinner. So if you're really going to go photo crazy in this, or you know, tip in crazy or ephemera crazy, you don't want to be adding things that are super thick and very bulky, because you're never going to be able to shut your planner and it's just going to haunt you. This just kills me. I love Patsy Stone. She's my spirit animal. I also love Moira Rose. If anyone out there is a fan of either of those television shows, please let me know. I think we'd have a lot to talk about. I'm just obsessed, and this is it's a stupid photo of Oliver, but you know how they had that meme where people were taking photos of their legs and they were saying hot dogs are legs? That's just where that came from. I think I was in a really funny mood that night. I must have been, because I even put my face on one of these things. That's really good though. I mean, I must have been really happy that day. I think it's just really fun to look through this and catch the different moods. I mean, you can tell. I can tell. I don't know if you can tell. Let me know if you can tell. I don't know if I don't want you to be super revealing. Like, don't tell me that, you know, you could tell what my deepest, darkest thoughts were that day. But is it obvious to you when you can see people transitioning in and out of things, like in and out of favorite products or in and out of favorite you know, illustration styles, or you can see where people have like shifted in their inspiration and their journey? Is that obvious to you, or do we all just think it's obvious because it's our own perception and we just tend to agree with that? I'm curious about that, because I think I can see it sometimes. I think when I look at people's, especially in an Instagram feed, if someone uploads regularly, I feel like if you just scroll through the feed, you can get a real sense of like where they're at or what they're going through, or how, like, you know, where they want to go from there. And, you know, you just look at things like the color palette. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, so I really probably don't know, but curious to know if anyone else thinks they know. This is a page of washi. These are all my Disney washi tapes, and I don't think they're all of them, but they kind of, I had to get onto this page as well. These were all from Japan. Love, 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 double love, super love. Oh, I cracked out the stencil for this one. I think I wanted to be really cute with this page. You could the cat's washi tape. I love having the cats in there. And some more photos that I just probably had lying around. My Patsy Stone, gotta have Pats. This is from Mermaid, piece that didn't work, I didn't like. Oh, this is actually a paper print. This is too a paper print of my my washi tape. I'll always print them out from my home printer, even though the color will be different and the quality will be different. Oftentimes the color and the quality are better in the washi tape than my home printer, but I do print them out to get a feeling for the size and the registration, just see what's going on. But you don't want to throw that stuff out. This is, I guess, maybe I was getting way too busy to even decorate. That's sad. But I had some more photos. Oh yeah, what were we doing in June? Oh, a Junicorn. Oh, this was me getting all that mermaid stuff organized. This was when I was on the iPad like 50 hours a day. This was a lot. June was a lot, and then we were doing some merchandise, we were doing Junicorn, I had extra videos up, and we were also getting ready for Playtest Patreon, which was a super secret project that no one knew about. Here it is here. Not so secret project soon. Some more phototems. These were just playing with different varieties, or not even varieties, but different ideas with them. I guess I needed to add cat ears to the top of both of those. I really am that person, aren't I? Just enjoy it. Oh look, here's all my Playtest Patreon content. I had to cover it. I'll be honest, I had these little these little stickers that I was cutting up and kind of checking them off as I went down. That's how far I got, and I thought, no way, not going to use those anymore. It was too much of a hassle. It took me like 10 minutes just to cut off one sticker. But this is all the content that I had planned. I have gotten a lot of the way through most of it, but some ideas I changed out for other ideas, and then some ideas I just kind of wasn't taken with anymore. But I did plan out the entire content offering before we'd even started, just so I knew that I would have enough to go with, and if I ever struggled for an idea, at least I had one to go with. So I'm not going to show you that because I think you'll have seen most of it, but there's still stuff that I want to keep a surprise. Here we've got more Junicorn pieces. I'm just using collage sheets. This is from Patreon collage sheets. Oh yeah, here we started. This is the start of Playtest Patreon. This was the calendar for July that I had colored. Got some little glitter on there. Love my glitter. All right, I have to be honest. I had to cut it there. I had to put a splice in because I realized that I had Stella's phone number just blasted across the internet, which I'm sure she's fine with. But no, this is her business card, so I didn't want anyone to see that and send her a message. But I guess you can email her if you really need to email her. That information is public. I've got this little stock take list here. So when I do Etsy shipping and I need to, recount the stock that I have if I've accidentally sent something wrong or an order's been, ruined or something, I do need to check back in with myself. So I just want to document that. I just want to have that in there. I know it doesn't need to be in there. It's not even necessarily decoration, but I don't have a project life, and I don't have this scrapbook memory album or, a keepsake box or anything. That's what I kind of see this for at the moment. Even Disneyland tickets, as I go in there, if I don't want to use them all in a journal spread, I still have a bunch that I can put in here and just enjoy it. Oh, here we go. This is my full Japanese fantasy. This is me living my most kawaii life. These are sticky pics, some from Japan, some from the States, lots and lots of stickers, just little puffy ones, little Korean ones, Japanese ones. These are from all over. Some washi tape, this is from Japan as well. I just love this. I've been gifted some of this stuff, and I've also just purchased some of it as well, and some of it I've had for years and years and years and years and years, and it's just really nice to get it into a spread like this. I think just looking at it makes me feel super happy. Love that. This is something I did not want to show you at all. Probably going to put another little cut in the video there because I just don't want to show you this. I said I was literally too busy to plan this week, and then I thought, well, how does that work? I know how busy I was that week, and I think it wasn't that I was too busy, it was just that what I was doing from, Sunday to Saturday was the same thing every day, and I didn't feel like I needed to plan it because I just knew I was trying to achieve that goal the entire week, and I just knew that I had no time for anything else, so there wasn't even a point to plan anything else. Having said that, I do really get upset that this page is in there without planning on it. I felt a bit like a failure that week, I'm not gonna lie. But it's fine. We lived. Here, I don't know why I did this, but this is a nice little flap spread. Little birthday card from Steve that he drew. Some Japanese calligraphy that was sent to me in Happy Mail. A beautiful little card that was sent to me from Kristen at Yellow Paper House. This is from Steve's when he was practicing for his blog post. Went to see Moulin Rouge. This is actually my birthday. It's kind of sad, but my birthday doesn't have a lot going on because we were out of town, so I didn't really decorate it. Maybe I'll come back and do that. Another monthly spread, which I actually just covered with the August Patreon calendar. On each Patreon calendar, I do have a checklist, so I can... Personally, it's for me, really, to check it off as I go. But I also thought that people would enjoy checking it off, kind of like an accountability tracker. I wasn't looking for an accountability buddy, but it's one thing that you really do want to kind of stay on top of. It's a good feeling to be able to check that off and say, oh yes, I got that today. I watched that video today. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I don't know. I get a sick satisfaction out of checking boxes, so I thought I'd put them in the calendar. Oh wow, this is where I really needed to de-stash some stuff. Can you tell? There's nothing going on here that needs to make sense. This was the little mock-up I did of the stamp set. I will mock everything up. I will literally print out the backing card, I will print out the size sheet, I will print out the illustration file, I'll print out the back, I'll glue them together. I want to see exactly what it looks like before I send it off to the printer, and even then I'll get a proof and I'll think, yes, okay, that's good. This is stuff you can't really take, you know, when you're purchasing a large order for something, you can't really just sit there and be complacent about it. You have to really know that you're happy to spend that money and let it all go. So this was really interesting for me because I looked at this and I didn't know what to do. I wanted all the same wording that I had on the 4x6 stamp sets, but it was such a smaller size. So I did have to reformat it, and I thought maybe this is approaching too small, but I think it just worked. I don't think we could go smaller than that. Otherwise I'd have to just write it all in, you know that T9 predictive text? Or I'll just have a link to where you can read some of the info. I don't know why I made that a tip-in. This is my Vitruvian swatch doll. That was for the class companions for the in-person workshops. It's super funny. Some test prints of the sticker, the planner confection stickers. I really like those sticker packs. I think you know what I love using the most, other than washi tape, is stickers. I think this sketch planner really goes to show that I'm a bit sticker crazy. I used to have a sticker budget. Steve made me go on a sticker budget because he was upset that I spent too much money on stickers. I think it was like $1 a day or something. So I would collect the dollars if I didn't have, you know, if I spent a week without getting stickers, I'd have like $7 for a sticker set. I mean, it could have been worse. I could have been spending a lot more money on a lot of things that I didn't need, like candles. Steve had a candle budget, and that to me was wild because those candles disappeared into the air. Like, he literally burnt that money away. At least the stickers stayed in here. And like, I mean, I know he enjoys candles as much as I enjoy stickers, so I think it was fair in the end, but I have since removed myself from my sticker budget. More printouts. This was from the coloring cards as well. This was actually a bonus print that I gave to like the first 25 people or something. Here we've got the tracing paper play from the workshop. I did have some clear stickers still left over in my stash, so I should put that on the transparency, and that, I mean, they completely melted into the transparency. So if you want to use some tracing paper but you don't necessarily feel comfortable drawing, you can print out your illustrations or whatever you want to print, like your collage sheets or something, on the clear sticker paper and put that over the top. So you're still going to get that really nice transparent look, but it will kind of, you know, blend into that page. You could slightly see an outline if you know, like if it's not exactly a great match for the brightness underneath, but you could just fussy cut that, or alternatively you could just print it whatever the size of this tracing paper is and stick it to that. Or acetate, I guess. Acetate is a little bit more bulky, and I kind of like the feeling of this being light. This was from Junicorn. This ended up inspiring the very last piece that I did, which was one of my most favorite. The most favorites? Which was my most favorite. I don't know how to say that. Brain's turning off. Luckily we're in August. I don't have to keep my brain on for much longer. Either way, that inspired the last piece in Junicorn, and it is one of my favorites. I actually love the sketch of this. Even though you can't really tell, it's you know, you can't really tell what it's supposed to be, and it's messy because I did it in charcoal, which is kind of a good thing that I have this here as well, so that it protects that paper. It doesn't look too dirty. Playing with some stamps. I just put a post-it note here and stamped them so that they look like they were peeking out at my days. I like that. Fun, simple idea, I think. Some little tip-in action over here. I've got my favorite, Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. I mean, I say she's my favorite because I love that character and I love the look of that character, the costume, I love the way that she acts it, I think it's great, but that movie, I actually find petrifying. The Penguin, like, absolutely not. All the crazy court jester clown things that run around the city, it's a lot to handle for me in a movie. And I remember watching it when I was a kid, and at Warner Brothers Movie World on the Gold Coast, they had that ride, the Batman ride, where you could go in there and go through Gotham, and it was, I mean, I've kind of always been petrified of it, so I think I'm having that sense memory when I watch it. It's not necessarily that I find that stuff terrifying now, it's just I remember how scared I was, and it makes me just feel uncomfortable, and I just don't like it. But I love Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. She's amazing. And this is where we're up to. There's nothing after this. There's one more thing. Clock the reference. But you can see I've got my Whimsy Ween mood board project. I've got all the extras from there. Well, I guess I'm on YouTube today. No, for my playtest Patreon people, you will have seen this mood board and research project come together for Whimsy Ween, and these are all the extras that I had from that failed print. So I did put them all in here. I got my Halloween tapes out, everything's ready to go, and I just made this nice little collection of imagery for me to look at and reference as I get prepared for October. To all my YouTube people, I haven't mentioned this before, but I'm planning on pre-filming a lot of stuff for October just so that I don't get behind, and we'll be looking at some of that process on Patreon. Which September is also the last month for Patreon, so I'm really not trying to plug it, but I'm going to totally do it right now. If you want to get involved, September is the last month for you to do that, and then anyone pledged in September will be able to download the content after the playtest has finished. So I will have a transfer system worked out, and you'll be able to download it to your personal computer for use in the future, for personal use in the future, if you so wish to do that. Because at the end of September, I will close the Patreon, and that content will disappear from that site. The only way you'll be able to enjoy it is if you download it throughout October. So I'll explain more of that then, but I guess I'm just trying to say that because if you haven't joined already, $20 will get you a ton of videos, blog posts, podcasts, and digital downloads, and it is literally the best deal I never meant to work out. So there will never be a sale or anything that gives you that much value. There will probably never be an experience like that again where I give that much for that amount of money. So $20 will get you all of that. And if you want to get in on the Happy Mailer box, this is the last month that you can do that as well. Again, that is US only. I am super, super sorry that we couldn't facilitate international this time, but hopefully if we try this again in whatever iteration it might come back as, we will definitely offer an international shipping option for patrons overseas. Anyway, that's enough of a plug for that, I think. I have a ton of Etsy shipping to get done, so I'm going to leave this video there. Let me know your thoughts about the sketch planner. Let me know if this is something you're even interested in. Again, I'm sorry that I couldn't give you more information on how to purchase it or where to purchase it. I don't even remember how much it cost. I want to say it was about $25, because I think I got 2 for $50, possibly. I'm not quite sure, but they will have more information on it as it becomes available, I'm sure. It's just Sketchplanner on Instagram, SKETCHPLANNER, Sketchplanner, all one word, and let's just hope that they still have this craft version, because I do like to personalize my own cover. I don't know what I'll do with the linen. It might be too professional for me, and I won't enjoy putting all of my junk in there. That's what this is. This is a junk journal. This is a junk planner. But I love all my junk, and I'm so happy that I never threw away all of this junk. It's so sad to think that a lot of the stuff that's in here could have just been thrown away if ever I got to that place where I said, oh, you don't need this anymore. Like, if you're not using it, get rid of it. I don't want to. I want it to end up in these places so I can always look back at it and, flash through these fun memories like I did today. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Hope you enjoyed the Sketchplanner Flip. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.